Hello, everyone. Welcome to Backyard Musings, broadcasted live from Apple Valley. I'm Steve.
And I'm Scott.
Thank you so much for coming. Before we launch into our happy news today, I just want to mention we've got warships and a nuclear submarine off the Florida coast by like 100 miles.
Yeah, Cuba is 90 miles from the tip of Florida. And
when's the last time that has occurred?
well,
Never.
That we know of back in the 60s, right? The Cuban Missile Crisis.
Yeah, but that
right?
not warships though.
Well, I mean, they had to get them there somehow, right? I mean, there had to be
Yeah,
something
could be
there.
cargo
I mean, I
ships
don't
to
think
do
it
that.
was to this extent, but
Cargo ships could get the missiles there, but this is crazy. I mean, it's not like we go up to their ports and camp out with our warships. You know what I'm saying? Why is Biden allowing this? Why?
he's too busy having ice cream or taking a nap, I guess. I don't know.
Is he buddies with Putin?
It's pretty scared.
Go ahead.
Pretty scared of this whole thing. Yeah, that's pretty close. And I mean, not that we couldn't take care of business if we had to, but still, that's
90 miles, man.
Yeah, nuclear warships and a sub, right? Isn't there some
Nuclear sub, and
yeah.
they assure us there's no nukes on the sub. Yeah, right.
Yeah. Whatever. I don't trust half the stuff we hear from our own government.
Biden's
right now.
the only president
why would I
who allow
trust
this.
Putin's government?
No.
Yeah, this is nuts.
No other president would allow this. It's just.
It's nuts.
So let's segue into the good news. Today, we're going to talk about Trump's Agenda 47. That's the website, Agenda47. And we're only going to talk about 10 things today. It's going to take a minute to talk about it. He's got like 40, so we'll spend a couple days doing this. But as Scott was saying earlier, this is like common sense stuff.
It is. It is. This is stuff that should have been happening already.
So let's just go every other one, yeah?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So Trump declares war on cartels, and this is what he's going to do. Restore all Trump border policies and fully secure the border. Is that good news or what?
That is good. This is good. This is all good news today. This makes me happy compared to what we were talking about yesterday with the reparation thing. So this is good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope he has the opportunity to make this stuff happen. So okay. Deploy all necessary military assets, including the U.S. Navy, to impose a full naval embargo on the cartels, to ensure that they cannot use our region's waters to traffic illicit drugs to the U.S.
Finally, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how the Navy will work, and usually it's the Coast Guard that protects our coastal waters, But
Which is good. I mean, I'm
Navy's
sure the
got some guns,
Coast Guard will be involved in that, but
Yeah,
they don't have the weaponry, right, that our Navy has that
Well,
can take care of stuff.
they've got some weaponry, but the Navy's got big guns.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And missiles.
which is okay. I mean, I'm sure that they will both work together.
So I wonder.
I had a nephew that was in the Coast Guard, just recently got out. So
I'm wondering if this means going into Mexico to destroy the cartels. I don't know. Let's read on. Okay. Order the Department of Defense to make appropriate use of special forces, cyber warfare, and other covert and overt actions to inflict maximum damage on the cartel leadership, infrastructure, and operations. Now this is surgical strikes inside of Mexico.
yeah, and you would think that the Mexican leadership, unless they got their hand behind their back and it's accepting money, which they probably
maybe they're
are.
just afraid. Their troops aren't trained enough
Yeah,
to do this. They get wiped out.
They would welcome this kind of thing, right? So
I just don't think the troops can do it. Mexican troops can do it.
yeah, and who knows how many of those guys.
When's the last time Mexico has gone to war to get that practice, that training in combat? I don't know.
Not in any recent time, anyway. Designate the major drug cartels as foreign terrorist organizations.
Thank you.
Yep, that's another
That'll
positive.
open up avenues to go after them,
Right.
right? And their assets or whatever.
Yeah, and if you think about it, with the fentanyl and human trafficking and stuff, and the issues that happen with that, they've probably killed more people
Yeah.
than we've lost in the last several wars that we've had.
Yeah. Yeah. No doubt.
Yeah.
Wait, my turn.
Yep, you're on E.
Cut off the cartel's access to the global financial system. Let's grab that money.
We can do that, right? They did that in the Mideast, right? They
Yeah.
froze all those Osama bin Laden's money, and yeah, it was great.
We should try and get some help from Mexico. Give us money for cleaning up your mess.
Yeah.
That's killing our people.
Yeah, well, I know the new Mexican president may be down with that, but the last one, Obrador, he wasn't happy with that. So So get full cooperation of neighboring governments to dismantle the cartels, or else fully expose the bribes and corruption that protect these criminal networks.
This is what Trump is going to do. We're telling you his agenda, what he's going to do. You know, you think about, I just got to say this, like a political guy or woman aspiring for office, they'll have 3 or 4 things that they're going to promise, right? This is what he's going to do, right?
And as many of you, as you hate to say it, you don't like Trump as a man or a guy or whatever, but almost everything that he said he was going to do his first term, he did, right? Or he tried, unless he got some hassle from our own government, which that could
the deep state, Democrats.
That could put an issue on this thing right here. So,
ask Congress to ensure drug smugglers and traffickers can receive the death penalty if they're convicted. I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I mean,
whatever we can use to deter
the drug traffickers. They're killing our people.
Right.
We catch them. Let's, like Texas, put them to the front of the line for death penalty.
I'm all for it. Yeah.
Okay, here's his second point. We're on number 2. Ending veteran homelessness in America. Thank you.
Okay, here we go. On day 1, Trump said he'll sign an executive order to cut off Joe Biden's massive spigot of spending for shelter and transport of illegal aliens and redirect a portion of those savings, a very large portion, I might add, to provide shelter and treatment for homeless American veterans.
Massive spigot. That's an apt way to describe it, isn't it, Scott?
Yeah, and all the money that we're sending to, I don't know,
money that we're borrowing.
Ukraine, that is borrowed. Yeah, the money that is being borrowed. In fact, I heard an interesting take on that. We're giving the money that we don't have to Ukraine
to secure their border,
and China is covering that money, right? That's part of the deal. They're covering that money. Plus, they're funding Russia. They're like getting they're getting a twofer, and they haven't even like bloodied their hands yet.
You get a headache trying to tie it in and
this
cross
is
it
nuts.
around.
I didn't even think about that. But, I mean, all that money that we're spending elsewhere that we could be spending right here that could help a lot of people.
Yeah. All right. This is what else he says. I will make it a personal mission to totally eradicate veterans' homelessness in America by the end of the next term, by his 4th year. Totally eradicate. Now, we know he gave up his salary to the VA. He's serious about this. He's serious about our soldiers, our national treasure.
How can anybody on the left disagree with anything that we've talked about so far? Any of this, actually. So
no, that's Trump derangement syndrome. That's how. That's how.
Okay. Number 3, right?
Yeah, we're on 3.
No welfare for illegal aliens.
Boom! I like that. I like that.
Start at the bottom. If you're going to come here,
So he says, on day 1 of my new administration, we will shut down this travesty and defend the wealth of hardworking middle-class families. He's not talking outside the side of his mouth like Joe Biden, right? Mincing words and nuances. He does what he says he's going to do.
Yeah, that's the businessman
mentality. He's in it to win it.
Yeah. He's running this thing like a business.
Yeah.
All right, so I will stop the outrageous abuse of parole authority. I will reinstate my action, making illegals ineligible for public housing.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
They're just handing out money to different states.
Yeah.
And I would
and
take
whose
the
money
states.
is
I would
it?
sue the states.
Yeah, whose money is it?
It's the federal
Our
government.
money. Yeah, and that's
it's
our
giving
money.
the states money to do this.
Tax money, and we do not have it.
We will terminate all work permits for illegal aliens.
Well, that's going to open up a lot of eyes, because if all of a sudden there's a whole bunch of
Make
help
America
wanted
great again. Put Americans
signs
first.
out. Yeah.
So I've got no problem with this. They break the law coming in. Why are they working?
Yep.
Oh, they're people and they need their dignity. Well, don't break the law to get into here.
Start just like everybody else did. All right. He's going to demand that Congress send him a bill blocking any future president from abusing his power to distribute welfare benefits in this manner.
Yeah,
that's a great.
That makes sense.
Good. Yeah,
that makes sense. Now check this out.
Money where his mouth is, right here.
The next one, number 4. This is kind of a weird one. I'm going to say it. The American Academy, under the plan that he's announcing today, whenever he announced it, we will take the billions and billions of dollars that we will collect by taxing, fining, and suing excessively large private university endowments. Harvard's got a huge one. Yale's got a huge one.
Yeah, Princeton, they're all.
And we will then use that money to endow a new institution called the American Academy. Now, when I was first thinking about this, and I'm going to be fair here, what first came up to my mind is Trump University.
Trump Academy, yeah, Trump
University.
Yeah.
And that somehow didn't work.
That didn't go over very well.
Yeah, so...
but it's a great idea.
Trust but verify?
It's a great idea.
We got to throw that out there to be fair, right?
Yeah,
okay.
But it is a great idea, right? I mean, that it's kind of like what is that school?
Let's see
Liberty
what he's
University
got.
or
let's see what he's got. I mean,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
All right. So its mission will be to make a truly world-class education available to every American, free of charge.
Free.
That's pretty good, and do it without adding a single dime to the federal debt.
Not up in here.
That's good. I like that.
I like that too.
This institution will gather an entire universe of the highest quality educational content, covering the full spectrum of human knowledge and skills, and make that material available to every American citizen online for free.
That's bold. I mean, is it just going to be randomly out there? Is it going to be packaged? I mean, I'd like to see this. You know, if I want to be a welder,
it's a great idea.
I'd like to go see this and learn. Of course, you got to do hands-on with welding, you know, but I'd like to see, you know, the theory and the stuff behind the welding. You know, you got to do it right.
Yeah,
you got to learn the symbols.
So far, I challenge anything that we've discussed here to be argued about on The View. If they can read
The
it.
witches on The View. Okay.
Yeah.
The goal will be to deliver it and get it done properly, well, of course, using study groups, mentors, industry partnerships, and the latest breakthrough in computing. I like that industry partnerships because you get the students involved with industry and they just move right in and take a job, you know?
Yeah.
This will be a truly top-tier education option for the people. It sounds good. So far, we got a couple more bullets to go, but it sounds really good.
All right. In addition to help the 40 million Americans who have some college education, but no degree. Obviously, I don't. The American Academy will grant credit for past coursework at legacy institutions and give you the chance to complete your education at the American Academy for free and much more quickly than is now possible or available. This is amazing.
I like it.
If this thing works, this is just amazing.
Well, our church has got an educational system like that.
Correct.
I mean, if he modeled it after that, it'd be great. We just had the sister missionaries over last night for dinner, and one of them said that she graduated high school with an associate's. Bishop's daughter did that too.
One of his sons did too, I thought.
Yeah, well, I think all of his sons.
Oh yeah, maybe both of them.
Yeah, and Leila too. And so she'd be able to leverage that associates, it was fine arts, into a degree, you know, a 4-year degree through this program. I think it's great. Let's see what it looks like. Give us a framework of how you're going to do that. I'd love to see that. Not a Trump University.
Right.
This is free to everyone. I'd like to see it.
Yeah. School of the Americas, right? It's a great thing. I think so.
Trump's pledge to homeschool families.
So President Trump pledged to allow homeschool parents to use 529 education savings accounts. It's a 529, right?
Yeah.
So it's like a
it's like a sailing,
like a
socking away for
503B
education.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
To spend up to $10,000 a year per child, completely tax-free to spend on costs associated with homeschool education. That is big.
What about trips? The kids should go to trips to science museums and
field
stuff.
Trips, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that could be dipped in for the $10,000 per student. You got 3 kids doing this? Yeah.
Yeah.
The gas, whatever, and the learning experience. I mean, that's just one, field trip.
Right.
President Trump will also work to ensure that every homeschool family is entitled to full access to the benefits available to a non-homeschooled students, including participating in athletic programs. I like that.
Yeah.
Clubs, chess club. I love that. After-school activities, soccer, softball, educational trips, and more. I love it. Tell us how he's going to make it available.
And tech stuff too,
Will
right?
it be regional?
Maybe they can get involved in like construction technology or some of the trades that are kind of dying on the vine, right?
Why doesn't our county right now, or every county for that matter, have a thing for homeschooling that integrates these parents and these kids to do stuff? You know what I'm saying? I don't understand. That should be done. It has to be done regionally.
Because they're in bed with a public school.
Yeah.
So. All right, number
Trump's
6.
Number 6. Trump's 10 principles for great schools leading to great jobs. Now, this is on the public education side. It's pretty good stuff here.
Yep. Okay, so the first one, restoring parental rights.
Right, so you're no longer
That's
a domestic
big.
terrorist by going to the board and voicing your opinion.
That's
Right?
that's a big thing, yeah.
Great principals and great teachers, hiring the best talent, right? Instead
Right.
of
Well, isn't that kind of where we should be anyway? And
Yeah.
getting rid of things like, I mean,
oh, but we got to be woke and we got to be inclusive. You know, we don't care about your merit, right? Right now,
yeah, and
It's
believe me,
ridiculous.
there's a lot of good teachers out there, but you know, why do we? If you're a good teacher, why do you need tenure? Why do you need that when you only have to work 2 or 3 years and then you're
Yeah.
almost like untouchable?
I
That's
don't
kind of
know.
crazy.
That's a good. Tell us why.
Yeah.
If you're
Yeah, let
if
us
you're an
know.
educator out there, my wife is. We could talk to her.
Sure, get her opinion. Yeah.
Why don't we get her opinion right now? What did you say?
I said, why do we need tenure?
Okay, so continue on with the next one. I'm like,
Okay, so the next one is knowledge and skills, not CRT and gender indoctrination. Again, that's kind of a no-brainer, I think. You know, that's why we're going to school. The next one is love of country. You know, if you don't love it, then leave it, man. Just take off. Freedom to pray, bringing pray back into the school system if that's what you choose. That should have never been taken away. Next one is safe, secure, and drug-free. That's a huge thing. I was a school bus driver for the last 12 years of my working life, and I'm telling you that schools are anything but safe, secure, and drug-free. It's just nuts. So.
yeah. So she's tied up with Cameron right now. They're reading books, but she told me that tenure. Anybody can accuse a teacher of anything right now, right? And she said tenure helps protect that. She's said a couple other things, but I ran out. So,
Yeah.
but if you're a teacher, let us know about tenure. What you think?
Yeah.
Where do we leave off?
G is the next one.
Okay, universal school choice. I like that. Let the parents choose.
Absolutely.
Montessori or academies or
Wherever, yeah.
wherever.
Charter schools, whatever you
Charter,
want to do.
yeah.
Exactly. So.
Yeah.
All right, next one, project-based learning.
Oh, I like that. Hands-on.
Yep.
Hands-on.
Yeah.
That's the best way to learn.
let's
Best way to remember.
Let's bring shop stuff back into the school, the public schools, right? They've
Remember
gotten rid-
chemistry when you mix the stuff in high school?
Oh yeah.
Hands-on. That's how you
Chemistry.
learn.
We had wood shop. We had metal shop.
Yeah.
We learned how to weld.
Home ec,
Yeah.
sewing and cooking. I took
Exactly.
a home ec class in
Yeah.
high school.
All right. Next one: internships and work experiences.
I'd
Another
like
great
to
thing.
see that. I mean,
Yeah.
especially if like the shop class, you can go work in a garage,
Yeah.
right? For a summer.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I like that, and it's meaningful, not just sweeping up, but you get to actually turn a wrench. I'd love to see that.
I know one of our local high schools in one of the towns here has all kinds of shop and technology stuff. You can learn how to build and dismantle a rocket engine.
What?
Yeah, yeah,
Here?
yeah,
Wow,
yeah. It's
that's
cool.
smart. SpaceX is here too in Adelanto, right?
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
you got you got construction technology. You've got auto shop still, and a lot of those things that went away have been brought back. So yeah, it's a good deal.
Jobs and career counseling. I like that. I mean, we have school counselors, but I don't know that they're counseling kids on. Well, you want to go to college? Oh, good job. Go ahead.
Yeah, and
I
obviously
don't
this
know what
is-
it entails.
You know, maybe these things are happening in your area, and they're just not happening everywhere. But it's
I like
obviously
it.
something important.
Should be a
Yeah,
tenet. You know,
Absolutely.
America must have the #1 lowest cost energy and electricity on Earth.
And we had that for a bit, right?
We did. We
Yeah.
did. When our innovation found fracking, how to do fracking and get that stuff out.
Yep. So
What's around the corner?
Trump says he's going to set a national goal of ensuring that America has the #1 lowest cost of energy of any industrial country anywhere on Earth. President Trump
Perfect.
said we will not only match China, we will be cheaper than China by a lot, and more energy will mean lower inflation, that will mean more jobs.
That's a true statement.
Yeah.
It just does. I mean, energy is a national security deal.
Yeah. Let's face it, we are not going to be off of fossil fuels anytime soon.
Not our navies and our armies and air forces won't. They
Yeah.
still need it to fight.
Well, and I don't see it happening in the private sector either. I just don't see it.
You know how many batteries it would take to push a tank forward? I mean, tanks are 70 tons. You know what I'm saying? It took a lot of batteries to power that forward
Yeah.
for any amount of time. Okay.
And you're gonna have to haul extra batteries around, right?
Or
Whenever you
have
go out.
charging, set up charging. On day one, President Trump will rescind every one of Joe Biden's industry killing, jobs killing, pro-China, and anti-American electricity regulations. Less regulation.
Hallelujah.
I love it.
Yep. Hallelujah.
Let the industry go. Let them do.
Yep.
We don't need to control them and tax them, and you know what I'm saying?
Get government out of the way
Oh my
and let
gosh.
the private sector
Unleash
go
the
at
private sector.
Yeah, let 'em have it.
Unleash.
it. Yep. All right. To keep pace with the world economy that depends on fossil fuels for more than 80% of its energy, President Trump will drill, baby, drill.
Drill.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. He
Drill.
said that last time, and that.
And goosebumps, man.
Yeah. I love it. That's what I'm saying.
Keep the
We're-
energy coming.
we got it. We should take advantage of it.
Oh, but the environment, and it's gonna. Oh. Well, why don't you talk to China about the environment, or India about the environment?
Right.
Okay, they're the biggest polluters. I mean, we do a lot for our country, right? Okay. President Trump will free up the vast shores of liquid gold, black gold, Texas tea, on America's public land for energy development. I love it.
Yep.
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, these are all positive things. Like I said, let us know how you feel about that. President Trump will remove all red tape that is leaving oil and natural gas projects stranded, including speeding up approval of natural gas pipelines into the Marcellus Shale in Pennsylvania, West Virginia, and New York.
Yeah,
I
the
love it.
Keystone Pipeline, free that up too.
Yeah.
That goes to Canada. It's Canadian oil over here. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, think about it. How
It's
long have we had the
delivered.
pipeline from Alaska?
the Alcan?
Years.
Yeah, years.
I mean, decades. And
Yeah.
it's just fine. The environment's fine. The animals love it. They get around it when it's cold, and whatever. So much proof out there.
President Trump will fill up the U.S. Strategic Petroleum Reserve (SPR) that Joe Biden wastefully drained to its lowest level in 40 years,
Yeah.
and he used it to lower gas prices in order to get votes for 2022. He didn't use it last month. Last week.
Would you agree that that's
Well,
a
last
threat?
year.
That's a threat on our national security doing that.
Yeah, because we need that reserve for if we
An
have to fight a
emergency,
war.
right.
Yeah, if we have to fight a war, with oil is going to power the tanks and the ships.
Yep.
You know, I mean, it's just like it's a reserve. It's extra in
Right.
saving for rainy day or whatever.
Right.
Okay.
All right. President Trump will once again exit the horrendously unfair Paris Climate Accords. Love it. And oppose all of the radical left's Green New Deal policies that are designed to shut down the development of America's abundant energy resources, which exceed any countries in the world, including Russia and Saudi Arabia.
Natural gas, oil. We found lithium now. We found a huge deposit of lithium. I mean, America is the land of plenty. Let's unleash.
And
man.
why do you think that was? America was taken care of for a reason.
Yeah,
So
we know that.
You know, we do.
Scott and I know that.
We do.
Maybe we'll get into that later, but we know that. Okay, President Trump will support nuclear energy production. Thank you, which reached a record high during his administration by modernizing the Nuclear Regulatory Commission, working to keep existing power plants open, and investing in innovative, small, modular reactors. I like that.
Yeah.
Well, it's like little small temples, you know?
Yeah.
Pop them up to power a big city, you know?
Exactly.
Small
Exactly.
modular ones. And we're working on fusion. You know, that could be a breakthrough right there.
That right there is huge. This nuclear regulatory thing. That's just
All above the line. Let's do it.
lay it
everything.
all out there.
Yeah.
So, all right. We should ensure a clear and expedient pathway for advanced micro and modular reactors to reach commercialization.
Yes.
It's a great thing too.
Yes. Not stifle it through regulation, but help, open it up, blow it out, open it up.
Yeah.
President Trump will end Biden's assault on the internal combustion engine. Thank you.
Right on.
And cancel his harmful April 2023 emission regulations for light, medium, and heavy-duty vehicles, which are used in construction, right? And the light ones are job sites. Yeah. that are projected to kill 117,000 auto manufacturing jobs.
That's
And you know,
I mean, that's great.
Yeah.
That
the travesty of this is the union bosses try to push their members to vote Democrat, and the rank and file, they want to see their wages go up. They'll vote Trump. They'll vote for Trump instead of boneheaded Biden.
I hope so.
Well, I saw in New York when he was having those rallies, and it was a construction worker that said, "F Joe Biden."
Yeah. All right, we got a couple more of these. So, number 8, returning production of essential medicines back to America and ending Biden's pharmaceutical shortage.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't have much knowledge on this.
But is that not a no-brainer?
Yeah, it is.
Not only for just helping our economy and making stuff cheaper, probably, but making it safer. Wouldn't you think?
Yeah.
I don't want my medicine and pharmaceutical stuff coming from a foreign country that I don't really trust. I mean, who knows?
Laced with something or whatever.
Yeah.
No side effects.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I really didn't know much about this. I'm not up to date. So if you know pharmaceuticals, hop on our show. Maybe we should get Brother Payne to talk about that.
Oh.
That'll be a good segment.
Yeah.
Okay, as part of my plan to obtain total independence from China, love it, we will phase in tariffs and import restrictions to bring back production of all essential medicines to the United States of America where they belong. So what that means is China's doing it cheap, so you slap tariffs on them to raise the price so that U.S. companies can compete at that level, because we just don't have the quantity of people to make it cheap. We've got the expertise and the know-how.
Right.
And he's saying, I signed an executive order to begin this process in 2020, but Biden has shamefully failed to follow through.
You know, and work a deal out with the insurance companies that are covering a lot of those costs. I know they did that a while back with insulin, right? Because insulin was just getting to be too crazy.
Yeah.
And,
remember that dude that tried 300 times what it cost and he got put in jail?
Yeah.
That he was a kid, like 25 years old.
Yeah. All right. B. President Trump took historic action in 2020 to ensure essential medicines were produced in the United States, but Joe Biden reversed the order in 2021. Now there are severe shortages of over 295 medications, a record 5-year high.
Never let a crisis go to waste, right? That's what the Dems think.
Who is that affecting?
Make the crisis.
That is affecting we the people, right? That need those medications. Come on.
Yeah.
This is a no-brainer.
It's like the elites are trying to line their pockets by creating a crisis. You know what I'm saying?
Big pharma. Yeah.
So the website, the Agenda47, talks about all the benefits of the 2020 executive order that Trump created. So there were so many, didn't want to put them here, but you can go to that website and you can find what he did in that executive order. Okay.
All right, number 9. Rescuing America's auto industry from Joe Biden's disastrous job-killing policies.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. On day 1, President Trump will roll back every Biden policy that is brutalizing American auto workers.
Yeah.
I mean, to the electric vehicle is just taken away from the gas vehicle workers. You know what I'm saying?
And that's going to affect. I mean, that you don't see too many convenience stores with a row of Tesla charging stations, right?
Circle K has some, but you don't see them at 7-Eleven.
They're standalone.
Well,
Yeah,
I've seen
they
charge
sit
point
there
at
and they're
7-Elevens.
standalone. Right.
Yeah, but it's not prevalent.
Right. And I mean, it would be a great thing, because how long do you got to sit there and charge, right? Sometimes hours, as you know. President Trump will end Biden's assault on the internal combustion engine and cancel his harmful April 2023 emissions regulation.
Horrible.
For light, medium, and heavy-duty vehicles
we talked about that.
are projected to kill. Yeah, we already got that one. So
Yeah, roll it back.
Yeah.
The emissions. It's ridiculous. Tell India about their emissions. Tell China about their emissions. Hold their feet to the fire that they won't get this or that until they... Why don't you climate Nazis do that?
Right.
Well, that's harsh saying Nazis. Climate activists. Why
Go,
don't you do that?
Yeah, go protest over there and see what happens to you.
Okay, President Trump will also end Biden's insane CAFE, C-A-F-E, it's an acronym, fuel economy standards that will cost the auto industry an estimated $200 billion, that's a B, billion, 1/5 of a trillion, and raise the average cost of vehicles by more than $1,000, according to the Biden administration's own estimates, at a time when the average price of a new car $49,500. What happened to the $13,000 cars and the $15,000 cars?
That's what I paid for my new house. My very first house, I paid that.
$49,500.
Just about, yeah, almost
Wow.
that. Yeah, crazy.
Up here, huh?
Yeah, but 40 years later, I still have that house. I
that's
wouldn't have that car.
$500,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
President Trump will secure the USMCA's protections for American auto workers from the globalist assault.
So this is the United States, Mexico, Canada, the agreement.
Right.
It used to be NAFTA.
Right.
Now it's USMCA. Right.
Yeah. And he changed that, right? Didn't he change that?
Yeah.
Format?
He championed that.
The original was Bill
NAFTA.
Clinton.
Yeah, Bill
right?
Clinton. Yeah. President Trump will communicate to Canada and Mexico that full compliance with the terms of USMCA is not optional. Full compliance, not pick and choose what you want to do.
Yep.
Cherry picking.
President Trump will stop the flow or work to stop the flow of American tax dollars that are subsidizing Chinese electric vehicle battery companies through Joe Biden's so-called Inflation Reduction Act.
Huh. I wonder why China and how China is benefiting. Did they help Joe Biden out?
Yeah.
Now he's helping them out.
Why are we subsidizing them? I didn't even know that we were doing that.
Well, they're giving him $10 million, he's got to do something for them in return, right? Doesn't that make sense?
Quid pro quo.
Pretty quote, Joe.
Yeah.
President Trump will create a special team of warrior lawyers, to identify every unnecessary federal regulation hampering the American auto industry and immediately eliminate them. I like that. Less regulation. Oh
love
my
it.
gosh, man! It just makes me so upset. It just makes me upset.
Okay, number 10. Rebuilding America's depleted military. I love it.
That. Love that.
Yep.
On day one, President Trump will restore his successful America First foreign policy to bring peace and stability to Eastern Europe.
Yep.
Right?
What does he say?
Peace through strength.
Yeah, he says that, I heard him the other day reiterate that he would end the war between Russia and Ukraine within a 24-hour period. That might be stretching it, but I'd give him a shot. Let him give it a shot.
The Dems are going to spin it that because he's buddies. That's why
Yeah.
called off the dogs. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah, so. In addition, I will ask Europe to reimburse us for the cost of rebuilding the stockpile sent to Ukraine.
Lend-lease, right?
Exactly. Those countries over there got money, which they should be doing now, but Joe Biden is too weak and too disrespected to even ask. President Trump said, the fact is that we've spent almost $200 billion in helping Ukraine, and Europe has spent just a tiny fraction of that amount.
Billion.
What is the deal? What is the deal? Yeah,
we could have a special segment on that. We could do that.
Yeah, and we have talked about it. You know, this is their backyard. You know,
I know.
You
It could
wanna
be
help
the
out,
start of
you
World
wanna-
War III.
It could be. You know, and they need to step it up and help out.
This is what President Trump says. Less than 3 years ago, I'd fully rebuilt the United States military and steered America into such a strong global position. That peace was breaking out all over the world. The Abraham Accords, can they dispute that?
No.
We have peace through strength, President Trump said.
I love it.
Love it.
29 months later, the arsenals are empty. The stockpiles are bare. The treasury is drained. The ranks are now being hollowed out. Our country has been totally humiliated, and we have a corrupt, compromised president, crooked Joe Biden, who is dragging us into World War III.
Rebellion, Civil War, and World War III, all under Joe Biden's watch. It's crazy.
Yeah, this is obviously a real big signal here, because if you're a businessman, you know that if you have a product and that you need that product to make revenue, you need to restockpile that, right? For whatever you sell, you gotta replenish.
Yeah, first in, first out.
Obviously,
Last in, first out.
doesn't care about the military, doesn't care about our security. That's not happening. That's scary. That's a big, scary deal right there.
Yeah. What I liked about this, what I just heard, I saw an article that they can't hit their recruiting marks, right? Well, the Marine Corps can, but nobody else, the Navy, Army, Air Force, are not hitting the recruiting marks. So they're saying we got to do a 19% pay raise, which is good for the soldier. But they shot themselves in the foot when Paul Ryan passed this boneheaded act in the Government Spending Act, Defense Spending Act, that eliminated pensions for soldiers, armed forces. I knew that they were going to have a hard time re-enlisting people, and a hard time recruiting people. I said that 7 years ago, 6 years ago. It was disastrous.
For the people that put their life on the line every day for this country and for our freedoms, we sure do not treat them very well, do we?
Well, Democrats don't. Oh, let them use a 401k system, the thrift savings. Yeah, well, that's, and they can take it with them when they leave the military. Well, who's going to want to come in and jump from an airplane while in mid-flight when they're not going to get a retirement based on that?
Right.
Why are they going to go into combat when they're not going to get a retirement?
And how long is their lifespan of their job? Not everybody makes it a career anymore, right?
No.
So
Well, nowadays,
what happens to that? Does your
proficiency goes down.
Yeah, you get to roll over that retirement to something else. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. So This is a much better way.
So this is the first 10 that we've talked about, and he's got 3 pages on the website, and we only hit half of page 1. You know what I'm saying? So we'll pick these up in the coming days. If we don't have a main story to cover, we'll pick up number 11 through 20. And then moving forward and so on. So sorry it took 35 minutes, but we wanted to give you the good news.
This is good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, good news. Thanks for joining us.
Have a good day. Take care.